everyone. It's a pleasure to me to stay with Miss Karla Sarango. She's in B2 level and this is her interview. Miss Karla, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, my name is Karla Sarango. I am in B2 level and I'm going to talk about my favorite writer, Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde is the most important writer of 19th century. He's known for his clever humor, for his unique style and for his way of criticizing the Victorian society. Oscar Wilde was born on October 16 in 1854 in Dublin, Ireland. His father was a famous doctor and his mother was a poet. Oscar Wilde grew up in a home full of culture and art, which inspired him to become a writer. Oscar Wilde studied at Trinity College and later he studied at Oxford University, where he was an excellent student. In 1884, Oscar Wilde married with Constance Lloyd, and they had 2 children. However, Oscar Wilde had difficult moments. He had a relationship with Lord Alfred Douglas. It caused a big scandal in the society of that time, and for that reason he was sent to prison for 2 years. And after leaving prison, Oscar Wilde died on November 30, 1900. Now I'm going to talk about his most famous works. The first one is the picture of Dorian Gray. This novel tells the story of Dorian Gray, a young man who stays forever young and beautiful, while his picture grows older. This story talks about vanity, moral corruption, and also talks about the consequences of selfish desires. The next one is The Happy Prince. This story is about a golden state and swallowed. They help poor people, and also they sacrifice everything that they have to help others. This story is about compassion, generosity, and kindness. The next one is The Nightingale and the Rose. This is a short and sad story. A nightingale gives her life to create a red rose for a young man in love. This story shows the Oscar Wilde view about unrequited love and true beauty. In conclusion, I think that Oscar Wilde was a writer ahead of his time. He had an excellent humor and also an excellent way to write about social topics. Oscar Wilde had the best works, and I consider that they never will go out of his time. And also his works inspired us to think about love and also sacrifice for others. Thank you very much. That was my presentation of Oscar Wilde.
Thank you, Karla. I have some questions to you. Tell me first, why did you decide Oscar Wilde as your topic?
I decided to talk about Oscar Wilde because he's my favorite writer. And also because I think that it's important to know about the life of the artist.
Thank you. Tell me, is reading popular in Ecuador?
I consider yes, because I talk about reading with another people, and they consider that reading is a good activity. And for that reason, I consider that reading is popular in Ecuador.
Thank you. Do the Ecuadorian children need to read more nowadays?
Yes, of course, because I think that reading is the best hobby that they could have. Because reading have many advantages for them and for all of us.
Thank you. What is your opinion about artificial intelligence can sum up books in a short time to do the students' homework?
I consider that they are
Thank you. Would you recommend investigating more about Oscar Wilde to people?
Yes, in my opinion, Oscar Wilde life is, I don't know, it's all interesting. So I consider that it could be the same for another. So I consider that I would recommend to investigate more.
Thanks. Can you provide some advices for new people about reading?
Some advices could be, for example, that reading could improve your imagination. Maybe if you read, you could be more intelligent, and also that you could improve your reading and writing skills.
Thank you. What are the benefits of reading a book?
The benefits are that, for example, you could improve your imagination and improve your vocabulary, for example. And also, I don't know, maybe you could have more topics to talk about with other people and be more, I don't know, be more talkative and social.
Thank you. Now, on the other side, what are the disadvantages of reading?
The disadvantages could be that maybe you could waste many time reading. I consider that is the unique disadvantages.
Okay, thank you. What is the least popular book of Oscar Wilde?
The least popular book is called The Selfish Giant. I remember that I have talked about it with another people, and they didn't know it, so I had to explain it. And for a reason, I think that is the least popular.
Thank you. What is the most popular book now?
His most popular book is The Picture of Diana, because I don't know, the most of, I don't know, his audiences know about that book because it's the most popular.
Okay, thank you. Is it the best book too?
In my opinion, is the best. I consider that is okay. The Picture of the Day is my favorite book, so I consider it's the best.
Thank you. Why is Oscar Wilde unique?
Oscar Wilde is unique for many things. For example, for his way to talk about social topics, and also it's unique for his humor and style. We could realize those aspects when we read his books. We could find that Oscar Wilde was so unique for that reasons.
Thank you. How can reading improve our lives?
Reading could improve our lives. For example, when we have open mind, and also when we could have another ideas about aspects. For example, sexual orientation aspects and social aspects.
Thank you. Who is your favorite character and why?
My favorite character is from the novel The Picture of Dorian Gray. The character is called Basil, and he was, the most intelligent and also the most famous artist of that book. I consider he is the best.
Thank you. Have you felt identified with a character before?
Not really. I read his works, and I realized that that works have many characters that they are unique. So, but I didn't feel identified with one of them yet.
Thanks. What is the best memory have you had with Oscar's book?
The The best memory consider that when I started to read his books, I realized that his books are excellent and always have, I don't know, talks about interesting things. So I consider that is the best moment for me.
Thank you. If you had the opportunity to ask questions to Oscar Wilde, what would you ask him?
I will ask him about what is his opinion about our current society, and also what is his opinion about the books from another artist.
Thank you. What what would happen if Oscar Wilde was alive nowadays?
If Oscar Wilde were alive nowadays, he could have another life. He was so, I don't know, he had a difficult life in his time. And if he he was alive nowadays, he will be free and have another life. Maybe he will be happier.
Okay, thank you. What have been the best plot twist you have read?
The best plot twist for me was in the picture of Dorian Gray, when I realized that the picture was cursed. So I remember that it was so incredible and it's the best plot twist of the story.
Thanks. What is your favorite phrase about Oscar's book?
I consider that my favorite phrase of Oscar Wilde is living is the most interesting thing because many people just exist.
Okay, thank you. How has your life changed with Oscar's book?
I consider that my life has a little change, but my mind has a big change with Oscar Wilde works. Because I remember that I had another ideas, for example, about sexual orientation and about social topics. But when I started to read about Oscar Wilde life, and also when I started to read his books, my mind has changed a lot.
Thank you. Would you like to live in a book of Oscar Wilde? Which one and why?
Yes, I would like to live in The Happy Prince. Because I remember that the prince and also the swallow was creating a better society and a happier society. So I think that it could be a good place to live.
Thanks. Have you written a book before?
Not really. I just written short stories and also fairy tales, but not a book.
So, would you like to write a book in the future?
In the future, yes, I would like to write a book.
What would be the gender of that book?
I consider that the gender will be, I don't know, horror, and will be a story with horror and love.
Okay, thank you, Miss. That's all. Please say goodbye.
Thank you.